breakdown at the Baylor Santa Barbara today, 74-56. That final. I'm Jordan Black. We are joined by Baylor Drake Toll. First half, maybe a little shaky, down one. Take us through that first half, maybe what wasn't working. What was everyone thinking at the break?
Yeah, Jordan, the first half was bad, really, really bad. And we've kind of been used to good first halves for Baylor that fall apart in the second half. So this was a flipped script. UCFB up by 1 at the break. It felt like the Gauchos had not just the momentum, but the effort. I was shocked with how flat Baylor came out, and it looked like the energy wasn't there. The effort wasn't really there. The entire first half, I kept wondering, okay, when does the Scott Drew dog mentality kick in? And you saw it on the players' faces. It just was, kind of this look of indifference over the course of a March Madness game where they're down by 1. And in the second half, it turned from that look of indifference was just the look of a stone-cold killer. 39-20. They outscored UC Santa Barbara in the second half to win this game by 18 and cover easily. Felt like the offense was out of rhythm in the first half. You saw Langston Love come on the floor, but eventually come off. He's been battling with an eye injury for a while and doesn't seem to be back to health enough to play. You saw a slow start from your guard, Keontae George, who's your NBA prospect. Just nothing really working for you, and UCSB brought the momentum, immediately punched the Bears in the mouth. But one team was just way better. I mean, we talked about it all week on the show. Baylor needed to win this game, should win this game, deserved to win this game by 15, and they won it by 18. So they proved me wrong, but only by 3 points.
Hey, a win is a win, right? Doesn't matter how many points, I'm sure, but, you still want to be right.
Yeah, Xavier's saying that right now, too.
There were some guys that stood out, some guys that maybe didn't do as much work as you probably expected or anticipated. Talk me through some performances from the Bears and what you liked, maybe what you'd like to see work a little bit better on Sunday.
My player of the game far and away, it's not even close, is Caleb Lohner. 5 for 5 field goals, 2 for 2 at the free throw line. He had 5 rebounds and 13 points. And a lot of our listeners who didn't watch the game would go, oh, Caleb Lohner? Who? I mean, you wouldn't have expected this guy, who we've talked about for so long, being a weak link off the bench, nearly filtered out of the lineup, even with injuries because of his lackluster play, now coming out and being so good. He is the golden retriever of the team. Even when everybody else kind of shuts down, he's just going to play really hard to a fault, to the point where he's just throwing the ball out of bounds. He's trying so hard. So when everybody else didn't really seem to give the umph in the first half, he did. He was right there. 5 for 5 is spectacular. Obviously, to see him be able to score and hit a 3 was huge. He has been kind of the missing piece that was so good in non-conference and fell off the face of the earth. To have him back is massive. And then I want to petition, Jordan, this is if Scott Drew, you're listening, let's make a new rule. Only LJ Cryer and Adam Flagler can shoot. From now on, nobody else gets to shoot, just Adam Flagler and LJ Cryer. Everybody else, you are barred. We are tying your hands on offense because that was it. Those two guys, add in Caleb Lohner, were the reason the offense clicked today. So those are the 3 names that really stood out. And I thought Josh Ojenwuna, who hasn't gotten a lot of time off the bench, he only brought down 3 rebounds, but his presence was at least felt. He had a couple of good looks at the rim that he missed. All right, at least he had good looks at the rim, because the big men have not been doing that for Baylor recently.
I did hear that Scott Drew listens to Locked On, so...
He does listen to Locked On Baylor. He also clips it and plays it for the players that we talk bad about. So this is kind of like a fuel for, Scott, I'm going to get into the bad players here in a bit. We can clip that for you.
Bulletin board material. So let's talk about Sunday, NC State or Creighton. We don't know who it'll be yet by the time this gets posted. In general, what does Baylor need to do? Sweet 16 berth is on the line. What do we need to see from the Bears to achieve that?
Well, Jordan, you got to get past the Big East here. I really foresee Creighton winning this game against NC State. And look, maybe this is posted by the time NC State is upset and won. And if that's the case, see you in the Sweet 16. I think Baylor's got a matchup advantage against NC State, and they can drill a team who's been playing in the ACC all year. Whereas if it's Creighton, I'm really, really worried about this matchup. Shot quality right now projects Baylor to win a game against Creighton by 4, 72-68. But the Blue Jays of the Big East have showed so much veteran prowess this season, albeit inconsistent. They, to me, are the scariest team left in this side of the bracket, this region not named Alabama, and Baylor might get them in round 2. But again, if this is NC State, give me the Bears all day long. They've got a ticket to the Sweet 16 in my book. Although if it's Creighton, Baylor's got to step up immediately defensively and defend the rim, because they don't do a very good job of that, and they especially did not do that in the first half against UC Santa Barbara, but completely, again, flipped the script in the second half.
Well, you make us excited about Baylor. It is always great to hear your insight. For more on the Bears, make sure you are subscribed to Locked On Baylor. Thank you so much for your insight, Drake. And for a full view of the bracket and all of the action, subscribe to the Locked On College Basketball podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks, everyone, for watching and listening.